Welcome to the second to last day of Fappy February, everybody. Welcome to day 27. This is Purrfect Date. Or should I say, Purrfect Date. So, yeah, this game is on Steam. This one, I'm not 100% sure if I know exactly what we're about to get ourselves into, other than the fact that it has some cat loving. I don't think it's cat-on-cat action, from what I read. It sounds like humans trying to date their cats or something. That's what it sounds like. Very much like a Hatoful boyfriend situation, but with cats. I don't know if that's actually the case. That's just what I gather from the little, synopsis I read. Also, big thank you to Dragon Knife for hooking me up with this game. He had a free key for this one, so thank you very much, sir. And, yeah. Let's click the play button and see what in the hell we're about to get ourselves into with these kitty cats, shall we? Meow. Alright. No game in progress. Well, lame. Oh, God. There's chapters? Oh, no. Well, I'll tell you right now. Depending on how this game goes, I may, give myself, a hard, deadline, or not deadline, time limit. A hard time limit, because this game might be a little longer than I am anticipating. If it takes me a couple hours, sure, that's fine. That's my normal daily for the month, but I'm not 100% sure I know how long this game actually is. And if it's split into chapters, it all depends on how long a chapter is. The longer I babble, though, the longer we'll waste time. But there is 18 goddamn endings, and we're definitely not going to see all of those. So let's click the new game and see what we got. It's alright. So these are the people we can be, huh? Random name. Harry. Hugh. Jack. Man. Stuart. Dave. Rosemary. Stacy. Brooke. Peter. Deborah. Jessica. Drake. Philippa. Fred. Henry. Ben. Luke. Paul. Ethan. Dave. There's so many names. I'm obviously, you already know who I'm going to be, but I'm trying to decide who I want to be. Am I going to be a girl? Also, what's this guy? Oh, okay. I see. This did not look like him. That's weird. In fact, when you click on him, it definitely doesn't even look like, this little avatar looks nothing like them. Alright, well anyway, I'm gonna be the girl with the braids, because she looks kind of cool with them freckles and stuff. I kind of like her. She's still gonna be Funky G. Funky G can be a female. Alright, let's do it. I just like her braids. Makes me want to get braids again. Well, hold on. This game supports an autosave. Please turn off your game. Well, wait. Please don't turn off your game. I am an angel and I accept. I am a devil and I reject. That's fine. Does that matter? I guess you have to make sure you make frequent saves if it doesn't autosave. I don't know. Either way, whatevs. Chapter 1, here we go. I'm not sure how long we've been sailing, but it feels like forever. I'm not feeling too well now, so it's a huge relief to hear the deck lad shout. Island approach! Make yourself ready! I'm finally here. When I applied last month, I was just another broke student living off baked beans, and didn't really think I had a chance of being accepted to be part of this prestigious Cat Island research team. Yet here it is. The little black dot in the distance, growing bigger by the second, is the infamous Cat Island, the place I will call home for the next few months. My heart momentarily skips a beat. What if there's been a mistake? What if they accepted someone else's application and accidentally sent the offer to me? I rummage about in my bag until I find the papers. DPRI. DP Corporation. Dear Funky G, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of research assistant to Professor Popper at our research facility on Cat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Popper. PhD, BSc, Hans DPG. Heart. No mistake, that's my name right there in the top left-hand corner, Funky G. And there's his name at the bottom, the genius behind this whole operation. Professor Popper. Science genius and my new boss. I look up from my papers to see dry land rapidly approaching before us. It seems to be surrounded by a huge barrier of impenetrable black rocks. As we get closer, we're not slowing down, and I begin to worry that we're going to crash into them. Then, at the very last moment, we take a sharp turn to the left, and suddenly we're sailing smoothly towards a jetty through an opening in the rocks. I blow out the breath that I've been holding and break into a smile. Nicely done, Skipper! Skipper. The ferryman comes out from behind the steering wheel, ignoring my attempts at camaraderie, and shouts rather brusquely. Take all your belongings. We won't be back for days, and so don't leave nothing you'll need. Thank you. I smile weakly at the ferryman and his son, and pick up my bags, ready to disembark. We glide seamlessly up to the wooden jetty, and the son leaps ashore and ties us off. He's greeted by a bulky man in a uniform, who I take to be a security officer of some kind. Okay. Zane Jones? Okay. Apparently. Joan? Sir, caught you a mouse. And then he laughs loudly, as though he's the funniest, that's the funniest thing he's ever heard. It's very disconcerting. The security guard remains surly and turns his attention to me. Let's be having you then. He holds out his large hand, which I assume is an offer to help me off the boat, but as I reach out to take it, he snatches it away, throwing me off balance so that I almost fall over to the side. Well, what a great start. ID card. Oh, I see. Of course. I reach into my back pocket and hand over the laminated card I was given on the mainland. Alright, Cat Island Security. Name, Funky G. Date issued, 1/1/17. Alright, let's go. Chapter 1 and... No, I'm just kidding. That would be funny, though. Alright, he barely looks at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder. This way. Okay. I follow him down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful, lush and green, and I'm already under its spell. After no more than a couple of minutes trekking, we're in base camp, which consists of an assortment of tents and huts. Among them are two solid-looking structures, one larger and one smaller. I presume these are labs. The whole camp is moderate but functional. It reminds me of an army outpost. I'm struck by the lack of people. In fact, there's no one around apart from an older woman sitting outside, peeling a pile of potatoes. I smile at her and give her a little nod, but she just stares back at me. Ms. Marigold, huh? Okay. I try not to get paranoid. Okay. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. I feel rude just walking in, so I make my presence known first. Hello? A firm but friendly voice calls out. Come. Come to me. What the fuck? This guy. That tooth gap, though. Holy shit. Okay. I walk in and there he is, hunched over some documents. The great Professor Popper. Sir, it's an honor to meet you. Yes, yes. You must be Funky J. Come on in, dear. Glad to have you on board. Good journey. Well, long. Yeah, yes, indeed. Well, we're rather tucked away here. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger, perhaps whiskey. I'm fine, just some water. It would be rude to let you have whiskey on your own. I'd love a cup of tea if there's a pot on the go. Sure, I'll take some water. Just some water would be great if you have some. Now, that's something we have an abundance of. Yes, there are plenty of cafe, natural springs on the island, but we have the bottled kind, too. I'm relieved as he passes me a bottle. I'm not too keen to start drinking from natural water sources until I've personally checked that they're not used as cat urinals. It'll take you a while to find your... It'll take you a while to find your way around and discover how it all works. So, for today, I thought I would just get you kitted out and maybe introduce you to some of the locals. The cats, that is. I believe you've already met most of the human locals. Oh, I've only met the ferryman and the security guard who brought me here. Yeah, that's about it. And the lady outside? Ah, Miss Marigold. Her and her husband are the caretakers. Wonderful people, Marigolds. You'll meet them before too long. We're a tidy little family here, Funky G, and I'm sure you'll fit in nicely. Thank you, sir. I hope so. Okay, so first things first, this is your basic kit. He begins going through, a pile of things on his desk, explaining each of them in turn. This is your backpack. You can put everything in it. We'll be going on plenty of field trips, so it will be very useful. As for your water bottle, some disinfectant hand spray. Ah, these are heavy-duty reinforced gloves, which are essential when tagging cats out in the wild. Don't want any scratches from felines we don't know now, do we? I suppose not. I shove each item into my new backpack as he gives them to me. Likewise, these goggles are to be brought along on the field trips. This lot here, he indicates to a small pile of what looks like laundry. In basic uniform, lab coats, mask, stethoscope, etc. Yeah. Portable first aid kit and camping knife with all tool attachments. Finally, without doubt, most importantly, this. He holds up something that looks like a lot like a mobile phone, except it clearly isn't one. This is your catalog. It's like a Pokédex for Pokemon, but for cats. Catalog? Yes, the name comes from the earliest version. It was initially designed to record and store data on the cats, scan them, and log their details, but as you see, we've come a long way since then. Now you can use it to communicate with the rest of our team. I've added everyone's contact details for you, listen to music, take photos. There's even a pen that comes with it to insert microchips into the back of the cat's necks so that we can keep track of them. It is a very valuable piece of equipment, Funky G, and I need you to protect it above all else. Do you understand? He is looking me directly in the eye and clearly expects a response. Yes, sir, of course. I will look after it. Good, good. You'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now, I suggest we take a stroll out and see if we can't find a few friends to introduce you to. You can try it out. He hands me the gadget. I feel a bit nervous taking charge of it, but also really keen to have a go. Alright, let's have a go at it, dog. Have a go! Saving. We head down to the beach and the professor explaining things as we go. The mixture of terrain on Cat Island is quite unique. Even in such a relatively small area, you'll find forest, mountain, jungle, beaches, woodland, all these different geological and ecological zones in one place. It really is most remarkable. It certainly is. Even the lack of wildlife is in itself quite remarkable. What do you mean, Professor? Well, put simply, there is a type of force field that surrounds the island, disallowing anything to enter. You mean literally anything? Absolutely. No birds, fish, or creatures of any kind can penetrate. Forgive my lack of intelligence on the subject, but, we're here. The professor lets out a disconcertingly loud laugh. Ah, I see what you mean. Well, there is, of course, one small break in this invisible wall, and that is where we built the jetty. But let's not get too bogged down in this all right now. What you do need to know is that basically the island is shaped like a peanut. Like a planter's fucking peanut. He has picked up a nearby stick and draws a simple map in the sand. This is our end of the island. It's very well known to us now. We've been researching here for many years. The other end is not so familiar to us. Holy shit, dude. Too many yawns. We have encountered difficulties that have hindered our progress in the region. Oh god. Like that? Like that glitch that just happened right there? That one? What type of difficulties, Professor? Well, we're not as sure as we'd like to be, but what I can tell you is that the environment has an adverse effect upon humans, producing nausea at the very least. And at the worst? Fainting, migraines, possibly nerve damage. Gosh, that is serious. As I say, it's best to keep away, but let's not get into all that right now, dear. You've had a long day. For now, let's just say that we refer to the far end of the island as the danger zone. Our end is the danger zone. With good reason. I must ask you not to put yourself at risk by venturing beyond this mountain range here. You're first to the map once more, drawing a line just past the center and an X through this end section. There are wild, aggressive cats out there. I wouldn't want you getting too close to them. Unlike our lovely fellow closer to home. He has led me to a spot where a few cats are lounging about. What do you say we try out your catalog now, Funky J? He stoops down and picks up one of the animals, a disgruntled-looking cat who is sleeping under the shade of a palm tree. Oh, shit. Fat orange cat, alright. The cat lets out a displeased mew, but doesn't struggle. Its large body billowing with long orange fur just sort of hangs in the professor's arms in lazy resignation. Would you like to have a go at scanning this delightful chap? find the on switch and somewhat timidly activate it. The gadget immediately comes to artificial life, emitting a boop 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 sound with a red pulsating light. I select the app labeled Cat Scan, and it loads instantly. There's no delay on this thing. The professor holds the cat towards me with arms outstretched. I'm sure he said the scanning chip is implanted into the back of his neck somewhere, but it's difficult to find this one's neck almost amidst the thick cloud of fur. The fact that it doesn't have a damn neck. I blow to make a parting and press the catalog to his skin. It's a bit like scanning groceries in the supermarket where I used to work. That should do it. And he plops the marmalade Tom back into the shade. Sure enough, upon withdrawal, I find the cat has been successfully scanned. It's Floofy Butt. Nice. His name is Floofy Butt, dude. Meow. Floofy Butt. Name, Floofy Butt. Gender, male. Age, 10 years, 4 months. Breed, red tabby. Persian. Eye color, red. Ooh, sexy. Amazing. Clever, isn't it? A large part of your job here will be to tag and scan the cats, such as Mr. Floofy Butt here. But it looks like you'll have no problems at all in that area. Actually, it'll work, fucking shit. Thank you, sir. Can't wait to get started. Well, why don't you get a bit more practice with the catalog and scan the rest of them while we're here? Age 5 spend a lot of time together. They're like a little family, aren't you? Well, yes, you are. The professor seems to be be a genuine cat lover like me. I think we're going to get on great. Okay, here goes. No help this time. The professor steps back. The first cat I approach is very friendly with beautiful calico markings. It comes toward me, already purring. Ooh, that's kind of an adorable kitty. Alright, we have Trixie, female, 3 years, 8 months. It's a calico American short hair, and it's got green eyes. Alright. Next is an elegant, sleek, hairless cat sitting gracefully in the sun. She doesn't pay me much attention. It allows me to scan her with minimal fuss. Oh god. Elegant my ass. That thing is ugly as shit. Meow. That's a snooty booty. That thing's hella old though. 11 years and 1 month. Wow. It's a Sphinx cat. I was going to say it looks like one of those. It's got blue eyes. Alright. Freaking snooty booty. Fluffy buttons, or floofy butt and snooty booty. Gotta love it. Fourth cat I approach is a noisy one. Oh. He looks interesting. Meow, 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 meow. McMurphy. I like it. 6 years old, brown crossbreed, and he's got green eyes. Alright. And finally, the one I've deliberately put off until last. He's been skulking around the edges of the activity, eyeing me suspiciously as though he could pounce at any moment. I laugh at myself already projecting personalities onto these animals. Huh. Sly looking bastard. Hiss. Kibbles. Ha. He's a white British long hair. And he's got green eyes. Alright. Kibbles. Well done. I hope you enjoyed meeting some of the locals. The professor lets out a little laugh. I have a feeling you'll get to know them quite well in time. That's probably enough for your first day, don't you think? It's quite a lot to take in. I am suddenly exhausted and grateful to be heading back to camp. Alright. It's exhausting scanning all these cats. Exhausting, I say. It's quite late by the time I've unpacked and settled myself, but I want to write my journal entry before I sleep. I'm surprised at how chilly it is. I pulled my sleeping bag right up to my chin, but I still feel goose pimples bloom over my arms. Shivering, I rub them to warm myself up. It makes me smile to think that this inherent reaction to the cold is what will be keeping my new feline friends warm tonight. My eyelids close, thinking of cats, and the island, and the professor. The world around me drifts away as I float up into a dream. Oh god. This game's glitching out like crazy. Is this gonna go apeshit on me and like not even it's gonna go from like some weird cat dating thing to like legit like over the top ridiculous like sci-fi weird shit? I don't know. Let's just see. Anyway, I'm not sure how long I've been asleep, but I wake with a violent jolt that leaves me sitting bolt upright. It's too dark to see anything, but I hear a rustling and then a strange electronic noise, one that in my sleepy confusion I can't place right away. Boop boop boop. The catalog! Acting on instinct, I scramble to my feet and follow the noise out of the tent. Okay. I look around me and my fears are confirmed when I catch sight of a pulsating red light, getting fainter and in the direction of the forest. I snap into action, running as fast as I can. barefoot, dressed in my pajamas, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of night. I must be crazy! The words of Professor Popper are ringing in my ears. I need you to protect it above all else. My legs are trembling beneath me. I stop, feeling my heartbeat heavy throughout my body. I wheeze in and out, my breath billowing in front of me in white puffs. I shouldn't feel like this. Why am I so dizzy? I try to get my bearings and realize I've blundered perilously close to the danger zone. Oh shit! I can just make out the shapes of some large animals in front of me before my eyes close and I drop to my knees. Whoa, dude. Crazy. And we died. I opened my eyes. The calico cat I scanned yesterday is sitting in front of me. She drops the catalog at my feet. What? Don't fight it? Did you see that? Anyway, I pass out. This glitchiness is weird. What is this game gonna become? I'm kind of excited, but a little weary. Uh-oh. Hello? Can you hear me? Are you okay? What is it? Don't be ridiculous, Kibbles. It's a human. Oh, yeah? I can smell it now. It smells like a human. Oh, do be quiet. Are they alive? Of course they're alive. It's breeding you, sir. Why is it moving? Would you come on? Give him some space. Move back a bit. Yes, stand back. Move out of my way. Let me have a proper look. I begin to come to. The Sphinx cat is standing over me as I open my eyes. We stare at each other for a moment while I try to take in what's happening. Is this one defective? Oh, I feel sick. I'm gonna puke. The cats watch me intently. Am I going insane? Gosh, my head. What is it chattering about? They're scared and confused. Let me talk to them. Human, y'all right there? You. I remember. You took my catalog. But I gave it back to you. It's back in your pocket now. I try to reach into my pocket and realize my hands are scratched to shreds. Ow, 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 ow. What's wrong with my hands? I try to stand. Ow, 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 my feet. What happened to me? Yeah, I guess that's from all the climbing. Wait, what climbing? I climbed? I told you it wasn't ready for that. What's that? Ready for what? Its anatomical structure is far too delicate. I try to slow it down. Yeah, Floof. You try restraining a human who's that determined? It was like a mergay. Its anatomical structure didn't seem that delicate to me. Yeah. I was like, a what? Doing what? You made your way back to the beach. Okay, but that doesn't explain... I show my bleeding hands. You crawled, Kara. Kara? Who's Kara? That's not my name. It's a term of endearment. It's an Irish thing. Oh. Okay. I don't... So this game, I can already tell, has very British dialogue and humor, and, the dialogue is very British. I'm not good at British accents, though, so I can't really, give Mick Murphy an Irish accent, even though he totally should have one, for sure. It's inappropriate. Wait, I crawled? You sure did. Like a cat? Yep. All the way from the mountains? Like a bleeding mountain lion. Impressive. But why? But you got this sickness! You got this sickness! Oh my god, I can already tell I'm not going to be able to do, a whole playthrough this. This is going to be a long-ass game. Shh! Maybe you should sit down, human. We need to have a talk. Possibly a long talk. Talk? Yes, that's right. Since when can cats talk? Oh, for goodness sake. Since the dawn of time. How else do you think we communicate? Stop splitting whiskers, Major. You know full well that what a human is saying. I think the revelation here, Kara, is that you can understand us. Yes, that too. Will someone please explain what the hell's going on here? Well, we don't fully understand everything ourselves. At least, not all the details of how this works. I think being stood in a forest, surrounded by a bunch of talking cats, It's about as much detail as anybody would want. I agree, and more to the point, we were rather hoping you would be able to help us. You are the scientist, after all. What we do know is that the clock has started ticking for you. What do you mean? Well, there's no easy way to say this to you, Kara. You'll be catified! I'll be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before. If I may, it would seem that we are basing this on our experiences to date, that when a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they are vulnerable in ways that they previously were not. That is to say... You're screwed! You're not helping! Don't make me... Sssss. Whoa, Mountain Lion. There'll be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here. The vulnerability to which Snooty Booty was referring is, simply put, if you're bitten or scratched by an elder cat within the danger zone, you'll begin a process of change that ultimately will result in a full feline transition. Catified. So basically, you're telling me I'm a werecat? I look down and amongst the scratches on my right hand are two distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends on me like a cold mist. Basically, yes. My head is spinning. This is too much for me to take in. Take a breath now, Kara. You're not looking so good. What? Have I started to change? I feel my head for ears. Fur, everything seems normal to me. No. I just meant you're looking a bit shaky. Understandably so. I take a few deep, steady breaths and calm myself enough to say, okay. So why? How? What? Sorry, too many yawns, dude. Really. Give me some data, and what have you got so far? Look, we'll answer anything we can, but the truth is we have more questions than answers ourselves. So, you said you need my help. What exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends would be a start. The cats on the island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them, but the body count is rising and we've hit a wall. A wall of ignorance, maybe. Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The Muellers are to blame. Muellers? Now, Floofy Butt, there is no need for name-calling. Speaking of name-calling, I'll remind you to call me Major, Madame. Look, they can't help the way they are. It's lack of breeding, you know. Okay. Overbreeding, if you ask me. Again, Muellers! They're the elder cats, the island originals. They can't speak the way we can, hence the derogatory term, Muellers. And are they to blame? And how are they to blame exactly? Well, if I knew that, there have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. It's hardly proving to be a roaring success, after all. Look, Kara, all we really know is that we are no longer safe on this island. The elders who live within the danger zone are hostile towards us. Not sure why. It's just always been that way. Now, because cats are being taken, nowhere else is safe either. You expect occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here, after all. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. Even the last human we catified went missing. I'm sorry, what? Let's not open wounds. Old wounds, Kibbles. Yes, onwards and upwards. Well, first things first, this werecat thing? Catification! Transition. Whatever. How does it work? Time passes, then you transform into a cat. Yeah. It's a gradual process. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. The clock is ticking, however. The first side effect of the transition is being able to understand us. Well, some of us. Not the elders, obviously. Okay. Not all the domestics either. Then you have the whole heightened sense thing. The increased agility, the crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with all the details just yet. I assume there's an antidote? I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on. You just said there was someone else who you put in this position. Well, Let's hope you're better bet than they were. Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back. I know where their notes are, though. Really? Trade. Huh? You help us, and I'll give you the progress reports. Will you help us, Kara? I mean, it doesn't seem like I'm in the position to refuse to help you, so I'm probably gonna help the kiddies. Not much of a choice, really, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? Will no one listen to sense? Start with the Muellers, and I'll eat my hat if it doesn't end there, too. Don't mind him. He's set in his ways. We have every reason to believe the abductions take place in your part of the island. Oh, shit. Okay. Yes. Nowhere near the danger zone or the elders. Well, that doesn't make much sense. But I suppose nothing does around this place. My catalog starts beeping. Oh, my alarm. I have to get to work. You run along now. We don't want you arousing suspicions with your people. You can meet with us later. I'll make sure those reports are in your tent before this evening. Thanks, Kara. You're one in a million. I imagine though odds are far greater than that, given your new health status. Go. Go! And thanks from all of us. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep all these cat voices straight. I'm also not sure if I have the energy or the breath or the voice to do an entire fucking multi-hour episode of this game. I don't know. Let's see if we can get to the point where maybe it says Chapter 1 is done, and then we'll see how long that takes, because I really don't know at this point. Anyway, after a rather painful journey, I'm very grateful to finally limp into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pajamas when I hear my catalog beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Popper programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all. Unknown number. Are you sure it is wise to trust everyone? Anyone? What on earth does that mean? Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. Okay. Before I can think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalog has no record of them. I don't have any time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. Doesn't give a good impression on my first morning. Ah, Funky G! Good to see you, nurse. I'm beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think the traveling and all the excitement of yesterday... I take punctuality very seriously. He cuts across my apology. Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You'll find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't mind what hours you keep. Thank you, sir. So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? He's looking at all the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. Not a secret drinker, are you, Funky G? No, sir. I'm a bit of a lightweight, to tell you the truth. Just teasing. We ought to get those heads sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me. He goes to the tall metal cabinet in the corner, takes out a bottle and some cotton wool. He begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks. For today, I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things, but from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how best to carve up your time. Of course, you are primarily here to carry out your job as my research assistant. However, try to make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some fieldwork. Make sure you spend some time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. Full understanding of their behavior is crucial to our research. There is plenty to see and do. However, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. That's the spirit, so there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. I spend the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out how everything is, and learning some of the basic duties I will be performing routinely. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted and I make my way to my tent. I'm about to flop down on my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's the reports that Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? Will I just turn into a cat? I decide it's not an option, and resolve to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-on-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight, I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write in my journal before I fall asleep. First morning of waking up on the island. I'm so excited to discover what the day will bring. Should I jump straight into lab research? Or maybe would it be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself? Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-on-one basis. Perhaps. I'm guessing the gameplay is truly starting now. What should I do today? We can rest, romance, or research. Okay. Recon? Okay. Recon 4 or 10. Okay, so you actually have to do the other recons first. Interesting. Okay, well let's just recon 4 then. Yeah, okay. That security guard I met when I arrived might be a good lead. Time for a bit of interrogation work. Or, strange message in the middle of the night. Doesn't anyone on this island sleep? Okay, let's try the security guard first. Let's do it. I've been staring at the back of his head for a long time now. Too long. I'm starting to feel creepy. I just don't understand it. All he does is sit in that chair by the dock, eating egg sandwiches and doing crossword puzzles. How does a man like that become the security guard for a place like this? As far as I can tell, his job consists of greeting the boat to make sure nothing unauthorized gets on or off of it, picking up supply deliveries, and occasionally taking a long, lazy lap of the island to make sure everything's secure? I wonder what he knows about the research that goes on here, if anything. He doesn't seem to be interested in it, regardless. I decide it's time to get to know the island bouncer and go to join him at the dock. I sit next to Zane, me on the sand, him in that chair. He's not wearing his big coat, and the short-sleeved shirt allows me to notice for the first time how surprisingly muscular he is. I never truly thought of him as security in the bodyguard sense, but now, squinting at him sideways, trying not to stare too obviously, I begin to see him in a new light. I pluck up the courage to talk. Hey Zane, how are you? Are you trying to start a conversation? He says this without looking up from his crossword puzzle. I suppose I am, yeah. I don't know. I don't get to chat to humans much in my job. Research Assistant 125. He rolls the words out like he's reading them. Oh, yes, I guess that's me. So what does the number stand for, anyhow? You don't know? He asks monotonously, eyes still glued to his crossword puzzle. No, actually, to be honest, Zane, I don't know much at all. There's a definite lack of intel sharing on this project. Which project would that be? This one? This whole research project that's going on? Is there more than one? Depends on who you ask. I was asking you, really. I don't understand your job. I don't need to. I don't care about things I don't need to. What do you care about? Zane looks at me for the first time. You really want to talk, don't you? Well, there's not much else to do here. Besides, I'm interested in it all, aren't you? I'm interested in it all. Aren't you? There we go. My interests consist of what's for dinner and when my next puzzle book's coming. When it's coming? You get it delivered? Comes with the mail. He's back to not looking at me again. The mail? You mean the parcels? And the letters, yes. The letters? Who would go to the trouble of sending mail all the way out here when we have email? I laugh, but Zane looks very serious. It's safer sending mail the old-fashioned way. With email, there's viruses, hackers, worms, cyber-terrorists. Get the feeling he's not very tech-savvy. Yeah, but anyone can open and read a letter, right? Not if I'm around. And besides, Who would suspect that something important would be in a fragrant pink envelope? That's an awkward silence. There's an awkward silence. Of course, being my usual socially inept self, I'm desperate to fill it. Need any help with that crossword? I'm pretty good. I can even do the cryptic puzzle in the Daily Inquirer. This line usually gains me a little kudos, but Zane simply ignores me. I decided to just come out and say what's on my mind. I mean, it can't make things any more awkward than they already are. Zane, have you ever noticed anything strange going on here? Cats behaving weirdly? Zane suddenly looks up, his eyes locking straight on mine, unwavering and hard. No, have you? Well, not exactly, but he's looking at me properly for the first time since we met. I've definitely captured his attention, but I'm too nervous to follow through. I'm just being silly. The lack of human company can get to me. It gives me daft ideas. Such as? He's still staring at me, but as though he's trying to read my mind. Sometimes when I'm out tagging, I feel they're playing games on me, like children. Hide and seek, that kind of thing. Some of those cats may be cleverer than any of us give them credit for. Now it's my turn to be intrigued. In what way? They know when to stay out of the sun. You're going pink. The moment, if there ever was one, is over. I decide maybe Zane isn't the best person to talk about my concerns. Feeling unwanted and slightly dejected, I decide to head back to camp. I stand up and brush the sand off me. What's a 5-letter word for solitude? Alone. Zane silently scribbles in his book as I leave. I was gonna say that exact answer. Lucky you! You beat me to it, game. Okay, well I guess that was our first attempt at trying something. Now what? Try another recon, research, or romance. What's the romance? Let's try one of those. Oh, you actually get to go talk to... Which cat should I date? It just straight up says that, huh? Alright, well... We can start with McMurphy. Yeah. Kara, wake up. I'm asleep? Huh? What? Huh? Mommy? Is that you? Shh! Quiet, Kara. Come with me. I have something to show you, but you have to be quiet. McMurphy? Yes, it's me. But it's the middle of the night. Kara, you're not scared, are you? Why would I be scared? Creeping around in the forest in the middle of the night? Don't worry, Kara. I'll be there to protect you. McMurphy, you know very well that there's a force field around this island stopping anything from outside getting in. It makes this a pretty safe place. Indeed. So the only things you have to worry about are the things that are already here. He leers at me with a mock snarl. Seriously, Murph, if you're the worst threat here, then this is the safest place on Earth. So come on, Kara. What are you waiting for? I follow the scraggy cat into the forest. The ground is wet and muddy, and I lose my footing a couple of times, but McMurphy is too determined to notice. Suddenly, he stops dead in his tracks. Here we are. Where is here, McMurphy? He ignores my question and starts digging into some mud and leaves on the ground. Almost got it. Could use a hand, Kara, if you don't mind. Get these leaves out of the way. That's it. Here we are. Okay. We keep digging until there's a fairly deep hole in the ground. My arms and nightclothes are covered in mud and leaves, and McMurphy looks like a bog monster in the darkness. Ta-da! Ta-da? Can't you see it, Kara? Not sure what I'm looking at. I always forget how useless human eyes are in the dark. Just reach into the hole and take out whatever you find. I reluctantly reach into the burrow, feel something hard and cold against my hand, wrap my fingers around it and pull it out. I know the shape, but my eyes can hardly process it. It's a bottle? That's right, Kara. This is my secret stash. No one knows about it. Not a soul. But I thought I'd share it with you. Thought we could have kind of a welcome to the island, a party for two. Secret stash? Is this booze? McMurphy lets out a wild laugh. That it is, Kara. You drink alcohol? But you're a cat. That can't be good for your body. It's not good for anybody's, but it does wonders for the soul, to be sure. I wish I could do an Irish accent, because this guy is Irish as shit. He's an Irish cat named McMurphy, who is a drunkard. That's as Irish as it gets, my friends. Well, I suppose you're right there, McMurphy. Guess one little nip couldn't hurt. That's the spirit. I try in vain to get some of the mud off me before giving up and sitting down against a tree. Sodded McMurphy curls up in my lap. Takes a while to uncork the bottle. McMurphy keeps telling me to smash it open and that the shards of glass will only add to the flavor. But eventually I succeed, my way. Pour a little out from McMurphy into a leaf, and I self-consciously swig from the bottle, feeling a touch uncivilized. Ugh, McMurphy, what in heaven's name is this? Ah, now don't worry about that, Kara. It's not about the taste, it's about the company. Hardly think I'm the type of person you'd usually hang around with. Well, I usually hang around with cats, and they're not exactly what you'd call my type. I respond by widening my eyes as I take another swig from the bottle. Somehow it tastes less terrible the second time around. I find humans much more interesting. They usually have a lot to say, present company accepted. McMurphy winks at me with his huge green eyes, and I blush, trying desperately not to show how boring I feel compared to him. Don't take it harsh. I'm only joking, Kara. McMurphy, I've been meaning to ask you something for a while now. Anything, Kara. Ask away. I'd love for us to get to know each other better. This Kara thing, you know my name is... The rest of my sentence is drowned out by McMurphy's howls of laughter. Ah, you make me laugh, Kara. You really do. I know exactly what your name is, Funky G. Kara is just it's like a pet name, you know? Kara means friend, buddy, amigo. It's something my mammy used to call people, and it's just stuck. It's one of the few things I remember about her, actually. That and her beautiful smile. Hey, flash me your pearly whites. I smile at McMurphy awkwardly. He bursts into fits of laughter again. Ah, that's a lovely smile to be sure, but you need to grow into it, yet. Could I have a top-up over here? I don't know if I feel comfortable giving you more alcohol, McMurphy. I think you've had more than enough. In fact, I didn't even want to give you any in the first place. Didn't you know that cats have 9 lives? You want to waste them all on booze? And why not? Besides, the night is still young, and we've only just begun our conversation. Come on, Kara. We've got a lot of chin-wagging to do yet. Are you gonna pour or not? He's the drunkard Irish cat. Fucking cheers, bro. Part of me thinks I ought to be a responsible human here and cut off your alcohol supply, but... I believe in a true democracy. Would you care to expand on that, and perhaps pour the drinks as you do? The true democratic principle that none shall have power over the people. Cats, or whatever. How inspirational. I'll toast to that. Alright, McMurphy, but on your head be it. For the rejection of the authority comes the responsibility for bearing the consequences of your actions. Pour some more of the suspect liquor into McMurphy's soggy leaf. Salante. I don't know how things work in the cat protocol, but in human terms, you are very mature. No, wait. Very adult. Fiddlesticks. You're over a certain age, and as such, can take responsibility for your own choices. I like it. Spoken like a true libertine. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can shake my tail when I feel the vibe. I can't believe I just said that. This stuff is stronger than it looks. Well, my proverbial hat is off to you. I feel disproportionately pleased that Murph has paid me a compliment. Say, Kara, you ever been in love? McMurphy, that second leaf has gone straight to your head. The cat smiles slyly. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Are you still with them? Well, I was never technically with them to begin with. Ouch. Well, it's definitely their loss. Oh, I don't think so, McMurphy. We never actually met. You're not saying you're one of those, internet stalker types, are you? Them catfish that tells tales of? Oh, no, McMurphy. Gosh. It was Bowie, okay? I was in love with David Bowie, you know? McMurphy frowns and shakes his furry head. See, these guys so green, I can stare for 1,000 years. You know. Oh, that's a charming song, but I'm afraid I have no idea what's going on anymore. Oh, come on, McMurphy. Everyone knows who David Bowie is. Red hair, lots of makeup, one blue eye, one brown eye. Well, I did know one sweet soul with a blue eye and a brown eye, but I can assure you that they wouldn't be caught dead in makeup. McMurphy snorts. Well, what about you, McMurphy? Who's the love of your life? Don't have one, Kara. Never have. Never will. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a free agent. I'm a big old yeti out in the mountains, all hairy and smelly and alone. For some reason, I find that very hard to believe, Mr. McMurphy. Fine, you're right. I'm a fool. A lovesick fool. I've had my heart broken more than once, Kara. And each time hurt more than the last, I tell ya. The thing is, Kara, I can't remember a thing about any of them. Any of what? I don't know. What were we talking about? David Bowie? That's right. So tell me how the two of you met. McMurphy, I think I'm drunk. What the hell have we been drinking? Leave me alone. I haven't touched a drop. I think I'm gonna vom. I wake up in the forest with a half-empty bottle in my hand, and McMurphy is nowhere to be seen. How the hell did I get here? I can't remember a thing. I look at my catalog. Whoa! Is that really the time? Crikey! I need to get to work. Crikey! 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 Well, that was weird. We went on a drunkard date with a cat. Interesting. We got 2.8% of the antidote ready to go, dude. We did it. I guess we'll spend the next moment researching because I just want to see what all the things we can do are. First of all, gotta see what we can do. Okay, so research 5, 12, and 16. Time to round up some rowdy kitties. Slow day today. I've got to today I'm off on a field trip. Okay, let's just start with the rounding up them kitties. Okay. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect, like shooting fish in a barrel. I double-check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. Got everything. I have a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it as best I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm pleased the professor is trusting me with the more physical tasks. I walk out onto the beach feeling like the child catcher. I keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good, even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up the crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. First, I stroll around, trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want this to be as painless as possible. Cats respond well to me, or the cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. Are you going to come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on, then. I pick the cat up, carry her to the crate, and place her gently inside. I lock it shut. Even though the cat makes no attempt to escape, well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey, matey, shall we get in the basket? Give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. Put my hands on either side of his body, ready to pick him up. He doesn't look happy about it and growls a warning at me. Hey, mister, it's gonna be okay. We're just gonna go on a little trip, alright? Alright. As soon as I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out and I can't fit him in. Ow! Ow! Oh no! I know when I'm defeated and I have to let him go. He scarpers off into the distance. I think it's supposed to be scampers, but okay. I look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. You got it, smart guy. Okay, well I don't know what the purpose of any of this stuff is yet, but interesting nonetheless. That doubled my research points, so that's good. I guess we'll finish off the day with... I don't know. What other romances are available? You're looking a little tired. If you choose to continue, it could have negative consequences. You can start... Okay. Choose again. Okay, so if you're down to 1 heart, you should rest. Okay. Fair enough. You had a lovely nap and wake up feeling revitalized. That's good. Your energy has been restored. Magic! You got it, dude. Yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see who else we can romance. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to go with this. Because I don't know how long things are. Why? Oh. Is it because I already went with McMurphy that Snooty Booty has a broken heart? Guess so. I don't know, maybe... I don't know, let's just hang out with McMurphy one more time. Let's just see what happens. I'm sweltering in the mess tent, typical for me to get cook duty on the hottest day so far. I step out for a moment to try and catch some air. Psst! I'm not sure if I really heard something, or if the dehydration is getting to me. I take a swig from my water bottle. Hey, aren't you gonna share, Kara? Oh, McMurphy, was that you psting? What are you suggesting, Kara? I only use the designated litter areas. Murph, you are incorrigible. You know exactly what I meant. Come on, Kara. Never mind all that. We have work to do. I am working. I'm supposed to be cooking for this evening. I mean work of the adventuring variety. Oh, of course you do. Ah, come on. Don't be such a bore. Sorry, McMurphy, but I can't. I'm very busy here. It's going to take hours to defrost and braise this meat from the mainland. Well, if you come with me, you may end up providing a much tastier dish in half the time. What do you say, Kara? You up for a crake? Crake? What are you saying? You mean I just bunk off? I should just bunk off? That's the spirit. Strip off your apron and let's hit the trail. But I can't just... What if someone comes looking for me? Leave him a note. Gone fishing. Maybe it's the heat, but I'm overcome with a moment of madness. Well, okay then, you wild Irish rover. I'm all yours. Ah, now there's a thought. Before I can answer, he's slunk into the thickening of the forest behind the clay cooking pits. I whip off my apron and follow behind. Slinky dinky. Wait, Murph, it's too hot to run. Then we really ought to cool ourselves off, eh? Oh, shit. He led me up to the cliffs. Without a warning, takes a running jump off the edge. I see him fly through the air and watch, mesmerized as he cuts through the water. Oh no! Murphy, are you alright? Don't panic, I'm coming! I kick off my flip-flops and shorts and fall him into the water. I'm surprised at how shallow it is and that I'm easily able to stand. Murph, where are you? I frantically search about, fearing for his safety, and suddenly feel something brush against my legs, making me scream out loud. What's that? I look down into the clear water and see McMurphy speeding along the seabed like a shark, fast and sleek, suddenly breaking up through the surface with something in his mouth. McMurphy, you can swim? What on earth is that thing? Oh my, it's a fish. I can see he's smiling, even with the sprat in the way. You can fish? He spits the fish back into the water. There truly is no end to my talents, Kara. You can say that again, but I have so many questions I don't even know where to start. Catch your breath, Kara. I know I'm exhilarating company, but you need to exercise a little bit of restraint, or you'll be swooning on me next. Relax. The salt water is very buoyant. I copy McMurphy, and we both lie with our backs on the surface. It's very calming and tranquil, and I'm finally able to collect my thoughts. I realize I've not had this much clarity in a long time. This is so cool. I know. Trixie took me here first. Calls it the Ponder Pool. Oh, can you all swim then? I thought cats... Before I can even finish my sentence, McMurphy cuts in. It's common misconception that cats can't swim. As you can see, it's another thing we excel at. So humble, too. As Nana McMurphy used to say, if you got a trumpet, blow it. What about the fish? Where do they come from? There are no birds or fish on the island, so it's one of the first things they tell you in the orientation. That's just because they don't know. Don't know what? It's better if I just show you. Come on, Kara. Follow me, Jan. We swim for a while with McMurphy leading the way out with purpose, and then he stops. Well, notice anything interesting? Well, the water's much cooler and deeper here. Uh-huh. Anything else? Can you feel anything? Stand perfectly still for a moment and begin to feel a strange sensation around my legs. Like a warm trickling under the water. McMurphy, are you peeing? Don't be so crude, Kara. It's a current. Look over there. I refocus my eyes until they see that what I thought was a rock shadow is moving. It comes closer into focus, and I realize it's a shoal of small fish darting in and out of one particular spot. What is that? I don't understand what I'm looking at. Isn't it enough to just see, Kara? To experience? Do you always have to understand everything? Well, yes. That's my job. It's who I am, McMurphy. I'm a scientist. It's in my DNA to seek to understand. Come on then, scientist. Let's take a closer look. We move closer to the area where the fish are gathered, put my hand down and realize I can touch them, and even pick them up. But something is stopping them from swimming further inland. McMurphy, we need to get going. I'm gonna be in big trouble if I'm away for any longer. But thank you for showing me this. I'm definitely going to come back here and try to understand it. I wouldn't waste your time, Kara. It wouldn't be a waste. I'm committed to finding out all He cuts across me as I'm speaking. I meant coming back to this particular spot. The fishes won't be here. Oh, I see. It's only at certain times? And different locations. It changes all the time. There's no pattern to it either. So you'd just be sticking pens in maps, Kara. I brought you here because I saw them this morning. Chances are they'll be gone by this afternoon. The disappointment must be apparent on my face because McMurphy switches lanes super fast to distract me. Okay, Kara, it's time to strip off. Huh? That t-shirt would make a lovely net. Let's go fishing. Oh, I see. Get 'em! I whip off my top and use it as a net to scoop up as many fish as possible. It's quite effective. Great idea, Murph. Now you can rustle up a tasty fish supper in no time at all. You get to join my company for an extra hour. Win-win, Kara. Okay, so now I have a little challenge for you. That, Kara, is music to my ears. There's little I like more than a gauntlet throw. Well, it's hardly a gauntlet, more a brain teaser. How am I going to explain to the rest of my team this bountiful ocean offering? Why tell them anything at all? Because they're going to notice that we're eating something that wasn't on the delivery list or the menu rota and tastes way too fresh for something recently defrosted? You worry far too much about things that really don't matter, Kara. I know he's right. I could do with loosening up a little, but this is a pretty big dilemma, really. Maybe I ought to tell the Professor Popper about this. What's the harm? Mac has stopped splashing around and looks me squarely in the eyes. There would be harm, Kara. Trust me on that. Obviously, I don't mean I'd tell him about you or anything that would endanger any of us, just that I noticed this shoal of fishes and I took some. And, you really think you can mention a phenomenon like this, and that would be the end of it? That he wouldn't start putting all manner of investigations and disruption in place? You are touchingly naive, my friend. I feel myself blush. I am being a bit naive, but I don't like the thought of lying. So what do you suggest then? If you know so much about everything, give me a plausible story and I'll follow through. Murphy lets out a wild howl and splashes water at me. Now that's what I like to hear, you impetuous daredevil, you. Splashing back and a furious water fight ensues. We are making such a ruckus, I'm amazed no one comes to check what's going on. After a good 10 minutes of laughter and play, we run out of steam and float in the buoyant, warm water. Let's hear it then, Oz. What's my cover story? It's a very simple case of brazen bluffing. Okay. Make a simple but delicious meal. And if anyone asks where the fish came from, shrug your shoulders and ask the same question. Huh? It's all in the poker face. You remain completely impassive and ask the same question. Yeah, I wondered that too. Where did the fish come from? They're delicious. Really? Oh, sorry. I just said that backwards. Wrong person talking. Trust me, Kara, as a cat who is forever risking one of his 9, the simpler you keep it, the more then they buy it. If they ask you where you got them from, you tell them, the fridge. Simple. I feel quite giddy at the prospect of getting away with a ruse. Okay, Murph, let's gather the supper. We have an abundance in no time, and I'll haul my catch back to the kitchen in good time to make a tasty meal for everyone and a little extra for my feline pals. Well, that's nice. What a nice day. Man, I'm like really tired and my voice is like spent already, dude. I don't want to like abandon this game, but like, man, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I wonder if I could just like take a break in the middle of a video and you guys wouldn't even care or notice. Nah. I think in the interest of just getting this month over with, I just kind of wanted to see what this game was all about. I can see this is going to be some weird mystery of the Cat Island situation. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I'm already at an hour right now, and I have seen no clear like ending going to be in sight at all. This seems like a long affair that we're about to get ourselves into. And I simply, here at the end of the month, just don't have the time to play through a whole long simulator for a one video situation. So, though it may seem disappointing, I'm probably gonna stop here. And I mean, I'm mainly just stopping because for my own mental sake, I just can't right now. My voice is already dying for today. My head hurts kind of a little bit. I'm feeling kind of sleepy even. So it feels kind of like a perfect spot to just stop right now. I am curious to see where this game goes. Don't get me wrong. If you guys really want to see me like go through some of these date sims a little more thoroughly, like some like a full playthrough type situation, I really don't mind. Some of them aren't really worth it, I see, but like this one, I could see at least taking the time to maybe checking out what the fuck's going on here and checking out some of the other paths and stuff. But it's obviously going to take like a full Let's Play style situation to go through the whole thing. I don't know. I'd consider it. I'd maybe even consider streaming it. Who knows? But for right now, I think we're going to stop. Hopefully Fappy February day 27. This is 27? Holy shit, it's 27. Is good. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I'm leaving you hanging a little bit here, but again, I just don't have time, man. Just don't have time. The end of the month is here. So unless I go overtime, I don't have time. And we're not going overtime. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the month, because tomorrow will be the final day of Fappy February. We'll hit up our last single episode of, my daily date sim stuff. And, well, we'll wrap it all up in a nice little bow, at least as far as we've gone for the 28 days of February. So, that being said, thank you for watching today, and I'll see you guys later. Peace!